One of the things we've had to do as a business over the last few years is completely shift people's perception of how students deserve to live. And students who live in old accommodation, which is noisy, not properly managed, their studies suffer, of course they suffer. So there is an umbilical link between study success and great quality accommodation. That's where we aim to make a difference.
Bring in the creativity, bring in the fun, bring in the different ways to interact and to socialize, because I think that the real sparks happen when there's a place that they can play.
They're not all looking for expensive accommodation. They're not all looking for accommodations that have got their own bathrooms, because how many students come from a home when they've got their own bathrooms? It's an aspiration, but when you actually put it against price and location and other services, that sort of quickly drops down the list.
And that's the quality of the accommodation, the security in relation to the accommodation. Obviously, certainly everyone's mentioned Wi-Fi today, that's a very important factor. Pastoral care, but also the social and amenity space, and actually creating a learning community. So that's what's happening, and that's going to continue to get better and better over the coming years.
Every time there's a disruption, there's a huge opportunity. And the industries that have been embracing it, are really starting to benefit from that. So like, how can you create products that really, or programs or styles of learning or spaces for learning and innovation that can enhance the whole experience?
We're spending like more than half of our income usually on our accommodation. And any millennial that you ask, do you have fun looking for a place? They'll say no, it was horrible, So that's the first thing that I would want to change. And the second step then is to enable them to customize the way in which their place should be looking or so.
This is actually my second year here, and I like the discussion that goes on in the European market. I think the market here is just so very different, and I like hearing about what new developments are coming in various countries.
As Europe is so diversified and has so different types of regulations still in place, that maybe it's not one size fits all model, and there will be multiple models. When you talk about Generation Y, they have certain needs. That I think will be a common denominator, for example. The common denominator will be also that, investors will have certain, return requirements and hurdle rates. Yeah. But again, the more local question is really, what are the regulations still in place? How will it actually impact your return and your risk?
Although millennials are well equipped to deal with things like social media, they simultaneously want to live closer together, although the technology allows them not to. But they also want to see and interact more closely. So the actual buildings that you invest in should also make room for that part. Let's call it the social element of living.
I think that the next task for us is actually to connect more of these people, just like this conference is doing, and connect them also between conferences to make sure that all these good ideas are kind of put in and moduled in a more holistic way of seeing students.
What they need today is not what they're going to need in 10 years' time, and what they had 10 years ago isn't what they need today. So times are going to have to change.
I think that we have proven that this is a product that you can invest in, that is a serious product, that is a serious subject. So I think that in general I would like to talk much more about the product itself. I'm always intrigued by, going back to my own past as a student, how do I want to live? With whom do I want to live? What are successful combinations of common spaces and individual spaces? Those things I would love to hear more about.
Big time. Would love to come back.